There will be no division of assets get out right now. It was the first birthday since getting married. What was supposed to be a joyful night turned into a nightmare when the husband came home from work. Furious and yelling with a terrifying expression, a crumpled divorce paper was thrown at me, and I had no choice but to leave the house. But a few minutes later, I unfolded the paper and gasped quietly. What is this?" written in large letters was run at the same time. A memory surfaced and I rushed to the police station in a panic. My name is Laurie at 27. I married Cole, who I met through an acquaintance with a gentle personality. He had always been kind and thoughtful from the moment we met. I grew to love him more and more. And when he proposed, I was so happy that I burst into tears after registering the marriage. We started our ideal newlywed life in new home. However, not long after a problem arose that clouded our happiness. "Geez, I came all the way here, so hurry up and serve me some tea." One day, when the husband was working on a weekend, I was relaxing alone when the mother-in-law Aria suddenly barged in. Yes, the source of my distress was her living nearby. She would deliberately visit when I was home alone. She would come in, make snide remarks, and order me around. "This is coffee and cookies," her serving me cheap stuff like this. "Again, ever since you showed up, my life's been a mess. The least you could do is bring me something better. You home, where?" She snatched the plate in mug, muttering complaints, and I furrowed my brows silently. The reason she started hating me stemmed from one incident. It was when the husband told her he would reduce her allowance. Since the father-in-law passed away, Aria had lived comfortably, thanks to Nicole's support, as she had never worked. But after our marriage was decided, he told her, "I want to save for our future," and reduced the amount he sent, even though it was still enough to live on. Her greed for money made her resent me, blaming me for her poverty. She began harassing me out of spite. Naturally, I consulted the husband early on, and he warned her, but it only made her hatred toward me intensify. "Hey, you haven't been bad-mouthing me to my son, have you? I never said anything bad about you after tattling on me. Now you dare talk back, still holding a grudge." Aria deliberately spilled her coffee on the carpet. "Ah, it's going to stain. That's what you get for crossing me," ignoring me as I frantically wiped the spill she just left. Despite everything, I still wanted to get along with her as she was the husband's precious mother, but the distance between us never narrowed. And there was another troubling issue. It's missing again. I'm sure I put it here after Aria left. I checked the shelf and noticed my necklace was gone. In fact, every time she came over, my valuable accessories would disappear one by one. I really don't want to think this, but could it be? At first I thought I had misplaced them, but it only happened when she visited, so I started to suspect her, still wanting to mend the relationship for the husband's sake. I convinced myself it was a misunderstanding. I tried to keep peace, but 6 months later, a disastrous event shattered everything. That day was my first birthday after marriage, and we had planned a celebration. "I'll come home early today, and we can have a party. It'll be just at home." Though, that's totally fine. I'm really looking forward to it. Since I happened to have the day off, I saw him off to work, and happily went about the house chores he had always valued. Special occasions, especially my birthday, which he celebrated with great care. Every year, I want him to enjoy it too as the sun set. And my excitement grew. I went grocery shopping to add to the festivities, thinking he might prepare something too. I wanted to make the party even better. I bought his favourite foods and some nice drinks, then returned home to decorate the room while waiting for him. But what happened next was far from what I imagined. I'm home, what welcome back barely minutes after I got home. He returned, panting, surprised by his unusually early return. I initially thought he had left work early for the party, but something was wrong. "You look pale. Are you feeling okay?" Peering into his face. I saw he was sweating and visibly shaken when I asked. He hesitated, then suddenly glared at me with fierce eyes. I'm tired of being with you. I can't take it anymore." His words hit me like a blow, and I froze on the spot. He had never spoken. "Cree to me, not even once since we started dating." "What do you mean? There will be no division of assets. I won't celebrate your birthday. Take this and get out my mind," went blank. Unable to understand, he forcefully threw something at me, refusing to explain further. I picked it up from the floor, a divorce paper. "A divorce paper, you're not getting a dime. I'll be relieved when you're gone." Paralysed by the shock, I couldn't move. He shoved the crumpled document at me and pushed me out of the house. "Why is this happening?" I stood there, stunned, unable to comprehend anything. How could he, who had planned to make me happy that morning, suddenly demand a divorce? I can't believe those words were his true feelings. There's no way, despite the harsh words, I still believed in. The kind-hearted Cole. And that belief turned out to be correct, huh? What, is this still in disbelief? I numbly opened the divorce paper, and my eyes widened. Scrolled in his handwriting were the words, "Run." Now something must have happened to him. I didn't understand the situation, but sensing he was in danger, I clenched my fist tightly, determined to save him. I immediately took action, and in doing so, I uncovered an unforgivable truth to ruin even my birthday. I won't forgive this learning. The full story, I resolved to drag a certain person into the depths of hell 30 minutes later, standing in front of the entrance to the house. After making certain preparations, returning with determination, the door was flung open without hesitation. Immediately, voices arguing could be heard from inside, stepping into the living room. The rare sight of a husband raising his voice, and the usual scowling mother-in-law came into view. "Laurie, why did you come back?" Seeing the unexpected return, eyes widened in shock, looking back and forth between the wife and the mother. Meanwhile, the mother-in-law, after a brief moment of surprise, glared sharply. "Why did you come crawling back? Didn't my son already dump you? Get out of here now," gazing coldly at the emotional outburst. Crossing arms in silence, of course marrying with the intention of spending a lifetime together. Efforts were made to build a good relationship with the mother-in-law. However, at that moment, emotions could no longer be suppressed. "I can't take this anymore. Don't think you'll get away with this." "Huh, what are you talking about?" "I just came to see my son. That's all." Despite the anger, the mother-in-law kept her usual sneering smirk, unfazed, then explained this right now. The moment a certain video was shown on the phone screen, her face instantly turned pale. Yes, the footage showed her sneaking into the house like a thief. When no one was home, I didn't mention it, but I installed a surveillance camera in this room a little while ago. Perhaps not expecting to be recorded, she fell completely silent, staring. Straight ahead, pressure was applied without a word. For some time, there had been suspicions of stolen clothes and accessories leading to the installation of cameras. A week prior, honestly resolving things through conversation was preferable. But the thought of a birthday gift from the husband being stolen was unbearable to protect at least that the decision was made to record the room's activities. Fortunately, the camera had a feature to view recordings directly from a phone. After seeing how strange you were acting earlier, I checked the footage, and to my surprise, this is what I found, after reading the message on the divorce papers. Checking the phone revealed shocking footage, right after leaving the house at the husband's request. The mother-in-law emerged from the closet. Rewinding further footage showed her sneaking in after the wife had gone shopping. In other words, while the husband returned home, the mother-in-law had been hiding inside, secretly watching them. "This is creepy. Why were you sneaking into my house?" Chilled to the bone, arms rubbed for comfort, glaring anew at the mother-in-law. But as if scheming an excuse, her earlier arrogance vanished. leaving her silent and downcast beside her. The husband let out a heavy sigh. Actually, it seems. My mum took the spare key with a tired expression. The husband began explaining on her behalf. Apparently, while at work, the mother-in-law had called, bragging about entering the house while the wife was out shopping by sheer luck. She had taken the key from a blind spot in the camera's view and used it to enter even worse. She had been calling the husband, threatening him with demands like divorce her right now and give me money. Do you really not care what happens to her? Those threats had left the husband no choice but to leave work early and rush home. Pretending to listen to her demands was simply a way to get the wife out of danger, knowing the mother-in-law might be listening from somewhere in the room. There had been no other option. I dragged Laurie into this and said such terrible things. I'm sorry you're not the one to blame. The problem is her. The husband, looking down with guilt, brought a sense of relief. Knowing he hadn't truly meant those words was enough. After confessing everything, the husband stepped protectively in front of the wife, closing in on the mother-in-law. You keep demanding money, but what exactly do you need it for? Apparently, during the time before the wife returned, he had been trying to get an explanation. Despite persistent questioning, she refused to speak until the pressure finally broke her shut up. Of course, it's because someone needs me, shaking with rage. The truth spilled out. After the father-in-law passed away, she had started frequenting bars, becoming infatuated with a bartender. Most of the husband's financial support had been wasted on the bar, but when that amount decreased, increased her spending. Slowed, and the bartender began losing interest in her, desperate not to be discarded. She concocted a plan to break up the couple and secure more funds. The hatred toward the wife likely stemmed from frustration over losing access to the bar. It's your fault he's losing patience with me. That money was what I worked hard to earn. It wasn't yours to waste learning the truth. The husband turned pale with shock, holding his head in disbelief. It was only natural to feel devastated, knowing his hard-earned money had been wasted on such a selfish indulgence. Yet the husband quickly lifted his head, directing a look of pure contempt at the mother-in-law. If that's how you use it, you won't get another penny. In fact, I can't even be your son anymore. Get out, realizing she was about to lose her son, the source of her money. Panic set in instead of remorse. Her face twisted with fury as she pulled something from her bag. Shut up. Just give me the money, or else you'll regret it. What she held in her hand was a knife. The husband, stunned by the sight of a weapon, froze in place. But faster than thought, the wife reached for the hidden tool around her neck. I won't let you in. The next instant, the whistle around her neck rang out loudly. Immediately, the front door burst open and several police officers stormed inside. What's going on? The officers quickly restrained her, prying the knife from her hand. Ouch! Let me go. It's useless. I already told the police everything. Watching the struggling mother-in-law with a cold smile, satisfaction settled in after uncovering her schemes. The police had been informed, however, without proof of immediate danger. Immediate action was difficult, so a patrol was arranged with the whistle as a signal in case of emergency. I'm glad this came in handy. You won't escape this time, clutching the whistle, glaring down at the defeated mother-in-law. Her face twisted in despair. No, I don't want to go to jail. I'm sorry, please, forgive me. Begging for forgiveness, she desperately pleaded with the husband and wife. But after everything, there was no chance of that. Spend the rest of your life regretting your actions, behind bars ultimately abandoned by both her son and daughter-in-law. She was dragged away by the police. Wailing loudly, the couple silently watched her disappear, their eyes cold and unforgiving. After that, she was arrested on the spot when the police searched her home. They found the missing accessories, confirming that she had been stealing. In the end, with this incident and her previous crimes combined, she was ordered to pay around $50,000 in damages. She would spend decades behind bars, and even if she were ever released, the mountain of debt would prevent her from living a normal life. throwing her entire life away for a bartender. It's truly a pathetic story. Meanwhile, he cut ties with her, and we were finally able to embrace a peaceful, happy life together. All of this was thanks to his quick thinking and determination to protect me. We rescheduled the birthday party we had missed that day, and once again we renewed our vows to each other. How did you like today's story? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.